Hello everybody, welcome to Expert Channel TV. I am delighted to bring you another episode in the Golden Door Awards where we're getting a chance to meet all the 20 shortlisted participants who have submitted a piece of written work, whether it's digital or printed. And you know that the Golden Door Awards are the first international writers' awards on the topic of truth and integrity. And there's going to be a huge award ceremony in Singapore on the 5th of September. We still don't know whether it's going to be live or online, but it is happening, that's for sure. And with me today is one of the 20 shortlisted participants, Tony Knight. Hello, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, hi Melanie. Yeah, thank you for having me. This is really quite exciting for me. It's like the coming out.
We'll make the experience as enjoyable as we can, I promise. So first of all, I think it's really interesting for our audience to get to know a bit about the participants and, you know, all the stories behind your work and everything. So can you tell us who you are and what you do?
Okay, well, I call myself a freedom agent, and basically my mission is about freedom, awakening freedom in people, and how it's always been about nature for me. So and nature can be expressed in many ways in our life. It can be the way you eat with the natural foods, be a way of living and just having connections with our inner nature and with nature. So I've been very lucky in my life to be growing up around a lot of nature, being by the sea and being in the bush and the forests, and growing up in New Zealand was a very lovely place. It was especially lovely in the 60s and 70s. And so that drove me to be interested in self-sustainability and growing my own food. Even as a child, I had my own garden, growing organics. And that led me into businesses where I just wanted to do things that made me feel good and I loved doing, but also had a helping sort of people and humanity aspect. I always had that intention that if I try and help someone else, maybe, you know, that's sustainable. And so I've been very lucky to be growing up with a lot of freedom and flexibility and being around that. So that shaped who I am. And very safe place in New Zealand those days. And we'd run around barefoot and literally eat fruit off the trees as we go out in the morning and wouldn't come back till night when you're hungry. But we used to, eat fish from the shore and eat fruit and vegetables out of the garden just in a normal day.
Amazing. That is sustainability at its best. Mm-hmm. And I love how we are now having to relearn to reconnect to nature and find that freedom with what we have around us. We don't really need that much more. We have everything we need around us.
That's exactly right, and I think we've just lost touch with that a bit. The world's become, we've been sort of into a more artificial kind of world, and we've got away from our roots. And I'll use language, very metaphoric language, because our language is very tied in with nature. When we talk about our roots, and we have a warmth of a fire, and we feel the goodness of the ocean and the flow of water and the flow of air as well, and thoughts. So the air and the thoughts, and water and emotions. Mm-hmm. So it's, I think people have forgotten who they are, and they've got very busy, and the world's sort of become very technocratic in a way. And artificial, and that's where my article was really looking at what I call NI, or natural intelligence, sort of versus artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is man-made and really is about, it's a tool to be used, but without nature and having the natural connection and the nature, understanding the nature of reality, you're never going to be able to be balanced with that. So I call it downloading the natural codes. We need to understand how the elements, we are of the elements, we come into nature. We're a natural being born into nature from nature. So it's self-evident. Nature is self-evident. Everything's self-evident. So it's a foundation, really. And we can use our mind to. I have these little models like these. You can see that it's sort of like it's the 5 stars, and I use that as a model and create the 5 elements. And then with each element relates to a state of being, an attitude, a behavior, or an action, an outcome. And what we can do is we can actually program ourselves using natural laws and natural principles. We can consciously imbibe that by learning how to do that. And that's what I'm developing with Earth Star. Earth Star Freedom is my company name or my brand name. And so my whole thing is about teaching people how to interact with nature to create a self-sustainable life.
Love it. That is so interesting. So interesting. So I am guessing nature is a huge inspiration behind the written work you've submitted to the Golden Door Awards. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's knowing what nature is. Nature is what we see. It's not just the trees and the beautiful planet, and it's the unseen as well. So I'm trying to weave, because really that's where we come from. We come from a blueprint of energy, which is very natural. It holds planets together very well. And, we have gravity and we have light and electromagnetism. And we are an electromagnetic being, and we can synchronize and align with nature to help enable our life to become more of a flow, just like nature's example.
Okay, lovely. Now, what would winning one of the awards mean to you?
It would mean a bit of a launch, I think, in what I'm doing. I'm in a bit of a reinvention since coronavirus. So it's forcing me to look at other ways how I can conduct myself and earn a living, if you like, or have a life that's worth living. And so it's really sort of helping to get maybe more exposure on my writing and looking at doing more speaking and doing teaching online and offline. So it's really just maybe just another step on the journey, another spark for my flame of my my purpose.
Nice, like an extra motivation.
It's and I really relate to Tahira. She's a very lovely lady and been very, very helpful in taking me under her wing a bit. And I really enjoy also some of the other people that have contributed. Beautiful, listening to their stories. It's been wonderful. So maybe you'll make some more contacts as well.
Exactly. Well, on behalf of everyone on Expert Channel TV, we really wish you the best. And we often say this because, of course, I've had the chance to meet over 20 shortlisted participants, and I can't even imagine the tough job the judges have ahead of them. You're all outstanding people doing outstanding work in this world to make the world a better place, because this is what's really special about these awards. It's not just a writer's award, which would be okay, that's perfect, but you all have this bigger purpose, this mission, and that to me is what is going to change the world. You know, people locally changing things, doing it within their communities, within their locality, whatever that is. And that is just fascinating. Being able to get a bit behind the scenes and getting to know all of you has been an absolutely fascinating journey for us.
I, yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was lovely to meet you too. You're doing wonderful work as well.
Well, thank you. Okay, so everybody, I think you will agree that every single episode we bring you is bringing you another fascinating story. Make sure you follow the series. We are releasing new episodes every Thursday on YouTube on Expert Channel TV and every Saturday on our Facebook page on Expert Channel TV and on all other platforms. So please, you know, we always like to start conversations. Let us know what you think, share your insights, ask your questions to these amazing, amazing people and connect to them. They're really worth connecting to, okay? So everybody, thank you so much for joining us today, and I will see you again very, very soon.